Welcome to today's class. My name is Tara and I'll be your guide today. So together we'll practice an asana sequence, mainly on the floor. So yeah, get out your mat, or if you want to practice on a carpet, that's also fine. What might be helpful for this practice would be a bolster or a cushion as a support. You could have a strap or a scarf, some blocks, or anything similar to prop you up. And then also take a moment to maybe get yourself some water, light a candle for yourself, get a blanket to be comfortable in our final relaxation, and just set up the space in a way that you feel held and prepared for the duration of this class. And then whenever you're ready, we meet down on the floor in a seated posture, taking this moment first here to arrive and settle into the space. So find whatever posture feels good to you in this very moment. You might want to prop your knees up, you might want to lean against a wall. Knowing that throughout this class, I'm just here as a guide, offering some support, some guidings throughout your practice. But at any point, if you feel like you need something different, you want to rest, you want to move more deeply into something, this is time for you to just really listen to your own needs, to your own body. Pause the recording at any moment and just, do what serves you really. So let's find this posture where we allow the body to sink down to the earth by allowing the body to be heavy. But at the same time, we find this elongation through the spine, through the crown of the head, alertness in the spine. The hands can rest on the knees and the lap. And the eyes can either come to a close or you can just have a soft gaze. And then slowly allowing the attention to turn inwards towards the sensation of the breath rising and falling. Maybe we want to take a few breaths to arrive and settle in, where we breathe in through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth. Once more, making it a big one. And then returning to a gentle, natural breath in and out through the nose. Together we can scan the body from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Just checking in with the body and looking if there's any points of tension, discomfort, but also areas maybe that feel good. Maybe if we find that we're holding unnecessary tension somewhere, we can soften in these areas, especially the belly, the hands, the jaw, all these little muscles around the eyes. And then also taking this moment as we tune into the body to see if there's any emotion present. And if you can find something, whether it's very subtle or very obvious, maybe seeing where is this emotion located in the body. How does it manifest? How does it show up? No need to change anything about it. Just becoming curious about our direct experience in this very moment. And then also just tuning into the mind for a moment, observing what tendencies are present, if we're drawn into the past, future, if we're putting any expectations onto this practice, onto this day, and just noticing. Resting back into that space of silent observation, silent witness. Observing resistance, observing confusion. Knowing that all things that come into our experience are observable. And with the next breath, we can allow that attention to sink down from the mind into the center of the chest. Feeling the air move through the center of the chest, through the area of the heart. And we can almost feel as if in the center of our chest there would be our nose or our mouth. We're really breathing into the chest as if the breath is entering the body there. Taking an inhalation, breathing into the chest, maybe an inch below the skin. And exhalation, we breathe as if we're breathing right out of the chest. Maybe an inch or two outside of the chest. Inhalation, drawing the breath into the center of the chest. Exhalation, breath leaves the body, breathing out of the chest. And like that, we just dance here for a moment with this flow of inhalation and this flow of exhalation. Allowing the breath to be our tool to awaken the heart, to awaken the sacred temple within the chest. And if this is more challenging for you today, you can also place a hand over the area of the heart. Also noticing any commentary of the mind arising with this exercise. And we can stay here with this breath, or if we like, we can also include the mantra, I am. I exist. As we inhale and pull the breath into the chest, internally we can repeat I. As we exhale and the breath leaves the chest, we internally repeat am. Inhalation, I, centering in the chest. Exhalation, M, with the breath leaving the chest. Returning to this most fundamental expression of our existence. The simple feeling of existence. Simple feeling that we're here. Before any labels get attached, any beliefs about who we are. Just returning and tuning in to that core feeling of I am, I exist. Inhalation, pulling the I into the heart. Exhalation, M. Awakening the heart. And from this place, together we set an intention for our practice today. And if you want this to be a personal intention, feel free to find something that is aligned with you and just repeat it inside your heart. But maybe also for this class, our simple intention can be, I am. And to just rest back into that feeling again and again. Just being here with whatever our intention is for a moment, feeling as if it is already true now. And on the next inhalation, we can bring the hands, palms touching in front of the chest. Exhale, rest. Inhalation, we can bring the hands up overhead, hands rising towards the ceiling, opening the palms, slight back bend, opening the heart to the ceiling and releasing our intention. Holding here for a breath in this gentle heart opener. And then interlacing the fingers over top of the head and bringing them down to the back of the head. Once more we inhale, open the chest. Exhaling, we curl forward. Inhalation, opening the chest. Exhaling, curling forward. And here we can just observe as we start moving the body. What does change? What is arising in the mind now? And if we like, we can continue by affirming on the inhalation, I. And exhaling, affirming, am. Allowing this to be our anchor to root us into our own existence. If you want to hold somewhere and just breathe into the body, breathe into the posture, please go ahead. Taking 2 more breaths here, wherever you are. Next inhale, we rise, chest back, up. Allowing the hands to release and to sink down to the legs. Observing what is alive here for a moment. Throughout this practice, you can have the eyes closed whenever it feels good to sink deeper into the body. And you're also free to have a soft gaze and just relaxed eyes at any point. Seeing what feels best for you. Next inhale, we're going to plant the right hand down into the mat. Bring the left arm up overhead. Inhalation, finding length through the spine. Exhalation, we walk the right fingertips out to the sides, leaning over to the right. Gazing down to the right hand on the ground, or also up into the left hand. Pinkies are slightly turned down. Extending the left side body, slightly engaging the core. The next inhalation, we rise, left hand comes down to the earth. Exhaling, rest. Inhalation, right arm comes up overhead, finding length, and exhaling, walking over to the left side. Leaning to the left side. Pinkies are turned down. On the next inhalation, we gently rise, bring the fingertips back down to the ground. Gently the left hand comes to the right knee and the right hand comes towards the base of the spine, rooting on the ground. Inhalation, finding length through the spine. Exhalation, twisting over to the right side into a gentle twist. The hand on the ground can be on your fingertips or flat on the earth or even on a block. And you can just play with every time that you inhale, finding a bit more length. And as you exhale, maybe sinking a bit deeper into the twist. No need to pull yourself here. Just allowing the breath to allow in deepening if it's needed. And one more breath. Gently unwinding back to center, taking a moment here to perceive the differences between the sides. And then bringing the right hand to the left knee, left hand comes back to the base of the spine, towards the earth. Inhalation, finding length. Exhalation, twisting to the left. Deep belly breaths. And whenever the mind starts to wander, taking a moment again, pulling it back down into the heart. Reaffirming to yourself, I am. And one more breath here. And gently unwinding back to neutral. One deep breath here. And then from here, finding a way to gently transition, turning towards the short side of your mat, extending the legs out. Maybe taking a moment to move the fleshy parts of your glutes to the side. Taking a moment here, maybe you want to stretch the feet away and pull them back towards you. Just finding a stretch here in the legs. And then you can either bring the arms overhead, engaging the core as you move forward into your forward fold. Or you can just have the hands on your legs as you gently tiptoe forwards. Whatever you're choosing, making sure you inhale and find length. Exhaling, you fold forward. You could also have a rolled up blanket or bolster under your knees. And if you like this to be a more active stretch in the beginning, you can also have a strap here, put it around the feet, and gently pull your feet in towards you. Inhalation, finding length, maybe moving a bit out of this posture again, caterpillar breath. Exhaling, curling forward. A few active moments here like this, following the pace of your breath. And then seeing if you want to come to a point of stillness, just of relaxing the head, shaking it yes and no, allowing the feet to fall a bit more out to the sides, hand resting on the earth or shins. And just feeling the points of contact with the earth. Connecting here in this posture to Muladhara chakra, connected with the earth element. If you like, you can place your attention down to the base of the spine or the perineum. And just tapping into qualities here of solidity, stability, deep groundedness. As we connect to this chakra, as we cultivate its nourishing qualities here, we bring vitality to the entire system. And when the mind wanders, either bringing it back to focusing into the base of the spine or into the perineum to connect with Muladhara, or coming back to your mantra, I am, and repeating it inwardly. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. And after your 3rd breath, in your own time, slowly one vertebrae after the other, unrolling, allowing the head to be the last thing that comes up. Taking your time to return to a neutral spine and just pausing here and witnessing. State of mind, state of body. Taking another breath here. And then mindfully coming into a tabletop, transitioning in your own way. Spreading the fingers wide and rooting them down into the ground. Elbows are on top of the hands and underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips. Slightly engaging the abs here to have a strong core. If this is too much on the wrists, you can also bring your hands into little fists and come onto the fists. And after we found our foundation here, we inhale, moving the tailbone up, curving the spine until the head comes up to the ceiling. Exhalation from the tailbone, we move down, curving here until the head comes down as well. Inhalation from the tailbone, we rise. Exhalation from the tailbone, we curl down. Moving through this cat and cow movements, bringing mobility in the spine. And you can stay here if you like with this fluid, steady movement. Or if you like, you can also break out of the form a little bit and bring movement in the entire spine and the hips. Be gazing over the shoulders, back towards your tailbone. Allowing the energy to move into Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra. You can bring your attention down to the area of the pubic bone. And just connecting here through our movement to the qualities of Svadhisthana, which are fluidity, creativity, the social aspects of our being. Also our sexuality. Seeing where you haven't moved yet. Also the feet and hand are not glued to the earth. If they want to rise up off the mat, it's also fine. Playing with shifting your weight back, forth, to the sides. Just following whatever prompt you feel called to and exploring for yourself. Continuing to breathe deeply. And taking 2 more breaths here. And then gently finding your way back into a neutral position. On the next inhalation, we're going to extend the left leg out and the right hand as front, reaching into opposite directions. You can stay here if you like, or you can reach back towards the back foot, holding onto the foot or the ankle. Alternatively, you can also hold on to a strap here to hold onto your back foot. Finding a still point to gaze upon, a drishti in front. Finding your balance. In this posture, we cultivate charisma as we're tapping into Svadhisthana chakra, but by balancing at the same time, we also move into Ajna chakra, 2 more breaths. And gently releasing the foot, releasing the hand, rooting back down into tabletop for a moment. Shaking out that hand if you need, maybe drawing some circles with the wrist. And then shifting over the weight into the opposite hand, extending out the right foot now and the left arm in front. Finding stability here for a moment, engaging the core. And you can stay here if this is enough for today, or you can reach back towards the foot or ankle. Again, an option here to use a strap. Finding a still point to gaze upon. Finding your balance. And one more breath. And gently releasing the back leg, releasing the hand back into tabletop. Again, drawing circles in the hand. Maybe shaking it out if there's any tension. And then we come back to sit on our heels. If we need some support here, we can sit on a bolster, a pillow, placing it in between the heels and feet, the heels and the glutes. Just having the hands rest on the thighs, or you can also place them over the pubic bone. Just observing state of mind, state of body. Noticing if it was easy to connect here or if resistance arose. No need to judge, to label our experience. Allowing the hands to drop. Gently we transition. We're staying on the heels. If you like, you can have a blanket or something soft under the knees if you know that you have sensitive knees as we come up onto our knees now. And then if you propped yourself up the way that you need, you can come up into kneeling here on the knees. Bringing the hands to the lower back. And we're just going to play with warming up the lower back here. We can just gently shift our weight back, slight back bend, and then back out of it again. Only going as far as feels comfortable. This can be a very sensitive area here, so no need to push. Just gently warming up. Again, if you notice now that the knees are sensitive, placing a blanket underneath. Very good. And then you can see if you just want to lean back, keeping the hands here until you feel the abs and the core engaging and starting to slightly shake. Alternatively, you can also release the hands, holding them next to the body, or you can also place your hands over the navel, bringing your focus and your attention into the area of Manipura chakra, the navel. Allowing there to be some shaking in the body. It's good as we're connecting with the element of fire here. And if it gets too much at any point, you can just come out of it again, Pause here for a moment, and then just lean back into it until you find your abs are starting to engage, maybe some shaking is starting to happen, some heat is building up in the area of the navel. Gently tucking the chin. As we're tapping into Manipura chakra, we're tapping into qualities of willpower, strength, courage and confidence, leadership. So just noticing what arises as we tap into this energy center. Discomfort, resistance. Maybe it also just feels good. No need to change your experience for what it is. And then taking a moment again, coming slightly out of this posture, holding the hands over the navel. Very good. And then gently sinking down onto the heels, keeping the hands over the navel for a moment. And then we'll move into this once more to make sure that we're activating enough fire here. So we inhale, raise up onto the knees. And then leaning back into this until you find your core engaging, shaking. If you need to go deeper into this stretch, you can also come out of this more stick pose into something that's more like a camel pose by curling under the toes and leaning back, reaching for the feet, or having the hands on blocks on the sides. If you feel a strong engagement of the core here, you can also move into this posture like this. But if you notice that this is not as much engaging the core, I would recommend slightly coming out of it again and just leaning back and allowing the core to hold you up here. It's really good if the shaking happens, if the heat is starting to be created. Noticing the mind drifting. And just guiding it back down into the navel. Continuing to breathe. As challenges arise, you might want to have the tendencies to hold the breath. And pausing and moving back into it if it gets too much. Very good. Gently moving out of it, moving slowly here. Maybe you need to support your lower back a little bit as you come back down on your heels. Again, propping yourself up in this kneeling posture if you like. If you find some tension in the lower back, you can just gently tilt your pelvis forward and back. It can help to just release some tension. And then just taking a moment here to rest. Checking in with qualities of mind, body. Gently we can bring the left hand over the navel and the right hand over the heart. Together we can inhale, draw the breath down into the area of the navel. And on an exhale, we can visualize this breath or energy traveling from the navel up into the heart. Visualize the breath or energy entering the body as the inhalation, traveling down to the navel. Exhalation, breath travels from the navel up, gathering in the heart. Taking a few times here to use the power of your mind to start sublimating this energy from Manipura up into Anahata chakra. And once more. And then bringing both hands in Prayer Mudra, palms touching, thumbs gently pressing into the heart in front of the chest. From here we're moving into a heart kriya. So for this, taking a moment here to tap back into the heart. Maybe returning to this breath where we inhale I into the center of the chest. Exhale, a feeling of existence, M radiating out from the heart. Inhalation I. Exhalation, a feeling of M radiating, spreading in the center of the chest. Taking a moment here to bow down to the heart. And giving gratitude here. Maybe you can just simply hold gratitude in this moment for the sacredness of this inner temple. Or maybe there's something that you want to bring forth in your mind, maybe a person, a place, something that you feel deeply grateful for. Maybe it is your own body, the ability to practice, or maybe it's just the heart. Bowing to that and saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And slowly we're going to take this prayer of gratitude into our heart kriya. And with that next inhalation, we're going to lift that prayer up by coming up onto the knees, bringing the hands above the head, releasing the arms, slight back bend, offering this prayer of gratitude up. Exhalation, bringing the palms back together, sinking down and allowing the echo to sink back into the center of the heart. Inhalation, we rise and offer Gratitude up, out into the world. Exhalation, feeling its echo, allowing the world to turn back inside your own heart. Just flowing through this in your own pace, with your own breath, filling your movement with meaning, allowing this to be a prayer in action. And of course, you can pause and hold whenever you like. And one more breath. Just holding wherever you are, whether it's with an open chest or if it's on your knees. And then closing whatever cycle you're on and sinking back down, hands resting in front of the heart. Taking a moment here, witness what is alive inside the chest, inside the body. Gently the hands can fall down. Moment here to rest. And gently we're going to bring the hands forward onto the mat as if coming into a tabletop. And this time we're curling the toes under, moving into downward facing dog. Pedaling the knees, bending deeply in the knees if you like. Just finding a moment here to get into this posture. Micro bend in the elbows, hands are spread wide. Rooting down through the feet, through the hands. Finding stability here. And taking another deep breath here when you found your foundation, when you found your stability. And with the next inhalation, you're going to lift up the right foot, draw circles. And we bring the right leg forward, right shin becomes parallel with the front of the mat. If this is too much, you can use a bolster or pillow to prop up your hips. With the back leg, you can either be having your toes curled under or flat on your foot. And then on the front, you can either open the chest, have the hands on the sides, rest them on your leg, on the ground. And if you need a little bit more height in front, you can as well get your blocks here, or a stack of books. Just have the hands rest on these to be a little bit higher in the front. Whatever you're choosing, seeing if you can find a little bit of opening in the chest, allowing the shoulders to sink away from the ears. Allowing the body to sink into this pigeon pose. Continuing to allow the energy to gather in Anahata chakra. Deep belly breaths, breathing into resistance if you find some in the body. And then once the body settles, just gathering your attention in the chest again. Here we're tapping into qualities of kindness, compassion. Discovering humility and selfless service. Tapping into the element of air. Deep breaths. And we'll take one more breath here. And then do gently moving the blocks to the side. If you used some, bring the hands on the ground, curling the back foot under and back into downward dog. If you used any props under your hips, you can just leave them where they are. Taking a breath here. Then we inhale, bring the opposite leg up, drawing circles here with the left foot. And then bringing the left shin forwards, aiming to be parallel with the front of the mat. Adjusting your bolster pillow, supporting your hips. And then seeing what you want to do with the back foot, either toes curled under or relaxed. Choosing any variation that you did on the opposite side, or maybe also adjusting it so that it serves this side of your body. Shoulders melt away from the ears. Breathing deeply so that the body can sink into the props, into the earth. And once you've arrived in the body, once the body has settled into this posture, allowing the attention to gather in the heart. Inhalation, we draw the breath into the chest, I. Exhalation, the feeling of M spreads in the center of the chest as we exhale. Inhalation, I into the heart. Exhale, M, allowing that feelings of existence to spread inside the chest. Taking one more deep belly breath. And at your own pace, transitioning out of this, bringing the hands back down to the mat, curling the toes under, and bringing your body into downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. And then bringing the knees down to the mat as if we're in tabletop. And then shifting the weight backward to kneel again. Moving any props to the side. And just resting here for a moment. Just witnessing any effects of these asanas. Attention resting in the heart. And then gently you can find your way down to a laying position on the mat. Moving into a sublimation sequence from here. So for this practice you can choose whether you want to do a supported variation where you bring some pillows, blankets, a bolster under your hips. And just have the knees bent, allowing the hips to be slightly higher than the head. You can also choose to have the feet up in the air with the legs extended, either having them be in the sky, just hanging there, or leaning against a wall. Alternatively, if you want a bit more active postures, you can follow my guidance through halasana, plow pose, to warm up, into shoulder stand, and then back into plow. Just checking in with what you need in this moment. So finding your position, if you're choosing to support your hips with a bolster. Also, if you want to move into plow and you know that having some bolsters or even a chair behind your head to prop your feet on, feel free to adjust that for yourself now. And then we bring the legs up, extending them out to the ceiling, bringing the hands down to the base of the spine, and then gently bringing the feet behind the head. Making sure here to not look from side to side. If you need to check the screen, just come out of the posture for a moment and then go back into it. Just holding here in plow, keeping the hands on the back as long as the feet are still in the air. 2 deep breaths here, warming up the back. And then gently we're going to bring legs up towards the ceiling, walking the hands down the back into shoulder stand. You can gaze towards your belly button to make sure that you're still breathing deeply, leaving a bit of space between the feet for the energy to flow. And then you can place your focus onto Vishuddha chakra, the throat. Element of ether or space. Cosmic energies coming in through the feet, flowing down into Vishuddha chakra. Qualities of aspiration, longing for something beyond the personal. Also a state of purity that comes with this chakra. And let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Belly rises and falls. And then gently bringing the feet once more behind the head into halasana, plow. Maybe creating some more space for the neck by tucking the chin and just finding an elongation in the neck. The hands please stay as long as at the back. The hands stay at the back until the feet can touch the prop that you're on or the floor. And only if you're rooted down through the toes, you can let go of the hands and interlace the fingers if you like. Allowing the energy and focus to move up into Ajna chakra, Focus on the center of the forehead, the third eye. Cultivating focus and concentration. Ajna chakra is the headquarters of all the other chakras. And we're cultivating here to be able to see the bigger picture. Energy moving in through the feet and down the back all the way to the center of the forehead. And 2 more deep breaths. Bring the hands back to the lower back if they're not there yet. And then very gently, one vertebrae after the other, bringing yourself down again, bending deeply in the knees, making sure to not engage the core here, to not move the energy down into Manipura chakra again. Gently releasing the legs. And whenever you find a position where you can rest, just taking a moment to witness the effects, witnessing the state of mind and body. And then seeing if you need any final stretch here to maybe roll out the lower back, hugging the knees in, shifting from side to side or back and forth. You're bringing the arms overhead and just stretching out in case there's any tension in the lower back. And taking a moment here to just transition into your final Shavasana. Choosing any props, maybe a pillow under the knees, under the head or neck, a blanket over your body, adjusting your neck. The feet can fall out to the sides and there's a bit of space between the arms and the body. Just taking this moment here to get comfortable, get any final stretches out. And just take this moment to set yourself up here. And then giving the weight of the body into the earth. Once more we'll engage the body by making little fists with the hands, squeezing the face, maybe lifting the arms off the earth, pulling the feet in towards you, and just squeezing the entire body and holding the breath. And exhale, just allow it all to drop down, relax. Once more, squeezing the entire body. Relax. Once more, making it a big one, squeezing every muscle of the body. And let go. Very good. And then allowing the weight of the body to just fully sink into the earth. Taking any final adjustments here. And then just coming into a state of rest, knowing that there's nothing to do anymore. Full belly breaths. And then gently shifting your attention down to the feet. Allowing the toes, the feet, the ankles to be heavy and relaxed so that they can sink down into the earth. The shins and calf muscles and knees are heavy, relaxed, and sink into the earth. The thighs, pelvis and glutes, fully relaxed, heavy, sinking into the earth. The belly, rib cage, chest, relaxed, heavy, sinking into the earth. The back, the shoulder blades and the spine, heavy, relaxed, sinking into the earth. Upper arms, elbows, forearms, heavy, relaxed, sinking into the earth. Wrists, inside and outside of the hand, fingers, heavy, relaxed, sinking into the earth. The neck, throat, jaw, and ears are heavy, relaxed, and sinking into the earth. The lips and mouth, tongue, heavy, relaxed, sinking into the earth. Nose and eyes, temples, forehead, heavy, relaxed, sinking into the earth. The sides of the head, the back of the head, and the top of the head are heavy, relaxed, sinking into the earth. The entire face and head is heavy, relaxed, sinking into the earth. The entire body is heavy, relaxed, and sinks into the earth. The mind is relaxed, at ease, and sinks into the earth. The entire being is relaxed and sinks into the earth. allowing the breath to deepen. Observing the chest rising and falling. Gently blowing breath and life into the fingertips and toes, and observing the body, how it's starting to move again. Observing the head moving from side to side. And observing your body transitioning out of this still posture back into a more dynamic expression. Moving mindfully. Taking any final movement here before gently rolling over to the side. Taking all the time that you need with this, knowing that you can rest here longer if you like. If you're ready though to transition out, you can gently come up to seated posture. Bring the hands in front of the heart in prayer, or just by putting one palm over the heart area. Bowing the head slightly to give gratitude. Giving thanks for the possibility to practice, for this body, this breath, and this heartbeat, for the land that we're on, for all yoginis and yogis, masters and teachers who've walked these paths before us. And for these ancient wisdom teachings who illuminate our hearts. May the fruits of our practice be consecrated to the well-being and liberation of all beings everywhere. May all beings know themselves deeply, and may all beings everywhere know the truth and the light within their own hearts. May we contribute with our actions, our words, and how we move in this world to the liberation of all. Thank you for practicing together. May you take the time to gently transition out of this practice and tune back into that sense of being, into the sense of I am, whenever you can throughout the day. Knowing that there is nothing we need to do but simply to rest back. Thank you for practicing together. Much love.